Ladies and gentlemen, imagine waking up each morning with a fire in your belly, that unmistakable itch deep in your soul whispering, "There's more." Not tomorrow, not next week, but today, right now. And there's a reason you're here. Your story needs to be told, your song needs to be sung. This moment demands your greatness. And let me tell you, greatness is not handed out by God or the universe like candy. You have to go and claim it with raw grit, unwavering faith, and a heart that screams, "I refuse to settle." You see, the difference between those who dream and those who do is simple: action. Not just talking, not just thinking. It's doing. It's getting up, showing up when the world whispers doubt in your ear. It's standing tall when the storm surrounds you. The struggle, that's not your enemy. Struggle is your teacher, your ally, and sometimes your only companion in the silent hours. And guess what? Struggle builds character. Struggle builds champions. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when your legs ache, your spirit falters. In those moments, you want my advice, embrace it. Embrace the discomfort like a friend, because on the other side of discomfort is growth. And on the other side of growth is the person you were always meant to be. You want to see who you truly are, go through hell. Dig deeper, fight harder. The journey you're on, filled with hurdles, setbacks, moments of crushing doubt, is sacred. Every failure, every misstep, every hurt and heartbreak is part of the blueprint carved into your life to build your foundation. I don't know your story, but I know this. You have wounds, you've been broken. But guess what holds more power than the pain? Your decision to get up again. That decision defines you more than the pain ever could. Don't look for shortcuts. Don't long for that easy path. Your activity in the theater of your life, your sweat, tears, and blood matters. Let me tell you something about consistency. It's the quiet, humble habit of showing up when everyone else has gone home. It's the daily choices. One more mile, one more page, one more phone call, one more yes when everyone else is settling for good enough. If you want to walk with kings, you must learn to outwork them. If you want to climb higher than you've climbed before, lace your boots tighter. There's no luck in greatness. There's no shortcut. There's just one thing: relentless pursuit. Some will scoff and say, "That's too much." To them I say, the only way out is through. When the weight on your shoulders feels unbearable, that's your chance to rise. That's your invitation to stand taller than you ever thought possible. Here's what I want you to know. Your dreams aren't some fantasy waiting to be dusted off. They are alive, calling for you, but dreams don't survive without a warrior's heart. They need someone with discipline, someone who honors the process. It may be slow, it may be painful, but it's the process itself that transforms the ordinary into extraordinary. Know this: lone wolves seldom reach the mountain peak alone. You need your people, mentors, supporters, challengers, believers, and you have to be that someone else's champion. Don't be too proud to ask for help, and don't be too cowardly to offer it. Strength isn't measured by how little you need others. It's measured by how much you realize together you can achieve more. Your greatest advantage isn't your skill, it's your tribe, and you better guard your mind, because that's ground zero. What you feed it, doubt, fear, criticism, becomes a wildfire inside. Instead, feed yourself hope. Feed yourself possibility. Feed yourself reminders of who you can be. Draw your boundaries. Shut out the noise that tells you you're not enough. That's cheap talk, and you're richer than that. Some mornings you will wake up and nothing will feel right. Every fiber in your body will scream, "Stay under the covers." But find your purpose, find your why, and let it drag you out into the world. Like a magnet pulling you forward. You aren't here just to take up space. You're here to move the needle, to carry a torch for the ones who don't think they've got light in them, to be an example of what's possible when someone refuses to settle. There will be victories that taste bitter, ones laced with compromise or accomplished with the sacrifice of your integrity. Those victories are hollow. Don't sacrifice the soul of you just to claim a title. Never forsake your core. Hold on to what you stand for. If you don't know who you are at your core, soon the world will write your story for you, and that story will not be yours. It will be what everyone else wants you to be. So decide now. I will serve my highest vision even when it costs me everything else. Yes, there will be moments when you stand at the precipice of despair. But remember, even in the ruins of failure, seeds are sprouting. Every fall carries you forward if you pick yourself up. You're allowed to mourn your loss, but only briefly. Then you get back to work. Your greatest asset is your ability to bounce back. In fact, resilience, the quiet vow to rise again, that's the currency of true success. And don't forget, the world needs what you bring. There's a piece of you, a gift you've been carrying yet afraid to share. Inside your hands lie solutions people are waiting for. Don't withhold them. Don't apologize for your brilliance. Don't tone down your shine so others feel less. You were built to illuminate the darkest corners. The world needs your voice, your vision. You're not far from the mountaintop. You're closer than you realize. The climb gets steeper, I know. It burns, but that oxygen, that's where the champions breathe. That's where ordinary gives way to legendary. That's where your best self shows up. That's where you get to look at your reflection and say, I earned this. So I dare you, start today, make one move, no matter how small. That gets you closer to that vision. One phone call, one chapter written, one early morning. Do it consistently, and soon enough you'll look back and marvel. That was the moment it started. That was the moment you unleashed everything you were meant to be. You've got what it takes. You've got more than what it takes. So stand tall, breathe deep, and step boldly into your greatness. Let your life be worthy of the dreams that set your heart on fire. And when the world asks you who you are, show them. Show them loud and show them proud. People love to talk. They talk about their dreams, about what they're going to do someday. They talk about changing their lives, building businesses, making moves. But talk, that's just noise without the action behind it. Dreams don't work unless you do. You can write vision boards, listen to podcasts, get inspired by every motivational video out there. But if you don't act, none of it means a thing. You gotta move. You gotta get up and make something happen even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because the gap between what you want and what you have is paved with the steps you're willing to take. And here's the truth. Nobody's gonna come do it for you. You can't wait for the perfect moment because it doesn't exist. If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. That vision you have in your head. That version of you that's stronger, wiser, wealthier, more fulfilled. That version is waiting. Not for someone else to hand it over, but for you to show up and claim it with both hands. With sweat, with sacrifice, with discipline that doesn't waver just because you don't feel like it today. Feelings are fleeting. Action is what matters. You want to be the best. You want to leave a mark. Then you better learn to outwork everyone around you, not by being flashy, not by being loud, but by being consistent when no one's watching, showing up early, staying late, doing the things no one claps for. That's where success is built, in silence, in the grind, in the nights you stayed up practicing, studying, building, while others were sleeping. People look at successful men and women and think it just happened. They see the highlight reel, the awards, the cars, the fame, but they don't see the relentless pursuit behind it. They don't see the rejections, the failures, the years of work before anyone knew their name. Success is the reward for those who keep going when it would have been easier to quit. And every single one of them had moments where they could have walked away. They were tired, they were broke, they were scared. But they didn't let that stop them. They moved anyway. You might not be the smartest. You might not have the connections. You might not come from a place where people expect greatness. But that doesn't mean a thing if you're willing to put in the work. If you're willing to say, I don't care where I started, I care where I'm going, and then back it up with effort every single day, that's what separates you, not talent, not luck, just showing up when others don't. And let me tell you something else. There's power in doing it scared, power in doing it tired, because every time you choose to move forward, even when it's uncomfortable, you build something inside of you. Call it character, call it resilience, call it grit. Whatever you want to call it, it's the muscle that gets you through the tough times, and trust me, the tough times will come. But if you've been putting in the work day after day, you'll be ready. Discipline is not sexy. It's not exciting. It's not that burst of motivation you get after watching an inspiring video. Discipline is doing the thing you promised yourself you would do, long after the mood you set it in has left you. It's waking up when the alarm hits, lacing your shoes, getting to the gym, making the call, showing up to the meeting, and doing it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. That's how mountains are moved, one determined step at a time. Nobody sees the hours you put in. Nobody sees the sacrifices. They don't see the late nights, the early mornings, the meals you skipped, the invitations you turned down, the distractions you ignored. But that's okay, because you're not doing it for applause. You're doing it because something deep inside of you knows you're meant for more. And more doesn't come easy. More has to be earned. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's where your growth lies, not in the familiar, not in the safe, not in the easy. Growth lies in the moments when you want to quit but choose not to, in the moments when everything in you says this is enough. But you dig deep and find another level. That's what relentless pursuit is. It's not flashy, it's not dramatic, it's quiet, it's gritty, it's getting up every time you fall, it's saying, I will not stop. And don't let people's opinions throw you off track. People will doubt you. People will question your moves. They'll say it's impossible. They'll say you're not built for it. But you don't answer to them. You answer to the vision inside of you. And that vision doesn't care about opinions. It cares about progress. So you keep your head down and you keep building. Let them talk. While they talk, you work. One day they'll ask how you did it, how you got there, how you made it happen. And all you'll say is, I didn't quit. Because that's the secret. That's the magic, showing up again and again and again until the door opens, until the opportunity lands, until the world can't ignore your work anymore, and even then, you don't stop. Because this life, this dream, it's not a destination. It's a journey, a lifelong commitment to becoming better, stronger, more powerful than you were yesterday. You want to be different. You want to rise above the average. Then you better get used to doing what average people won't do. You better get used to being misunderstood. You better get used to being the only one in the room willing to push harder. That's what it takes. And if you've got that fire in you, if you've got that hunger, you better feed it. Feed it with action. Feed it with consistency. Feed it with the quiet belief that no matter how long it takes, you're coming for everything that's meant for you. So if today feels heavy, if the climb feels steep, if the finish line feels far, good. That means you're on the right path. That means you're stretching, growing, becoming. Keep going, keep pushing, because the moment you stop is the moment you hand over everything you've worked for. And you didn't come this far just to come this far. You came to finish, you came to win, you came to rise, keep moving. Pain is not the enemy, struggle is not your curse. It's the process of becoming, and I know that's hard to hear when you're in the middle of it. When life is pressing you from all sides, when it feels like nothing is working, when every door seems locked and every effort feels wasted. But hear me clearly, you're not being buried, you're being planted. And if you can just hold on, just push through, something powerful will rise from this. Because pain is not just part of the journey, it is the journey. Growth is born in the fire. Everybody wants the result. Everybody wants the rewards, but nobody wants to suffer. Nobody wants to feel the sting of sacrifice, the weight of uncertainty, the silence that comes with disappointment. But it's in those moments, when your back's against the wall, when you're out of options, that something in you either breaks or wakes up. You choose which, because the struggle won't stop coming. Life doesn't hand out victories for free. You fight for them, you bleed for them, and most of the time you fight alone. No cameras, no crowd, no applause. But what the struggle gives you that nothing else can is perspective. It teaches you who you are when things don't go your way. It teaches you to value small wins. It forces you to stop leaning on comfort and start leaning on faith. You find out what you're made of when everything gets stripped away, when the titles are gone, when the money's gone, when the support dries up, when you're left with nothing but your will to keep going. That's when you meet your real self. That's when transformation begins. Don't waste your pain. Don't run from it. Sit with it. Learn from it. Use it. because the pain has something to teach you that pleasure never could. Pain says you're alive. It says you still care. It means there's something inside you still fighting. And you better listen to that, because buried underneath the ache is purpose. Beneath the tears is a calling. Wrapped inside the hardship is the version of you that you were always meant to become. Every successful person you admire went through something brutal. Something that would have broken most people. They didn't just get lucky, they endured. They stood in the fire and said, "Burn me if you must, but I'm not going back." That's what you need, that defiance. That resilience, that refusal to let pain have the last word. And don't you dare confuse temporary suffering with permanent defeat. Pain is a season, struggle is a chapter, but neither is the whole book. You still have more to write. Some of the most powerful lessons in your life won't come from success. They'll come from failure. They'll come from loss, from heartbreak, from being misunderstood. And as hard as those moments are, they will sharpen you. They will strip away your ego, humble you, prepare you for a stage you haven't even stepped on yet. You want strength, then you need pressure. You want wisdom, then you need hardship. You want purpose. Then you need a reason to fight. Nothing grows in comfort. Nothing changes in ease. You'll want to quit. Of course you will. Everybody does. There's not a single soul who's walked through the fire and didn't think about turning back. But the difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't is simple. They stayed. They endured. They pushed even when they were empty. And somehow, through the exhaustion and the doubt, they found a way. Not because they had superhuman strength, but because they knew what was on the other side was worth it. That's what I want you to remember. This struggle you're going through, this weight on your shoulders, it's building something in you. It's preparing you for doors you can't even see yet. So don't despise the process. Don't curse the pain. It's not in your way, it is the way. Every challenge is sculpting you. Every rejection is refining you. Every delay is developing your patience. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. People will look at you one day and see strength. They'll see confidence. They'll see composure. But what they won't see is the sleepless nights, the silent cries, the days you almost gave up but didn't. They won't know what it took to become the version of yourself they admire, but you will know. You'll carry those scars with pride, because they'll remind you that you made it through what was meant to destroy you. You weren't just tested, you were tempered. You have to become the kind of person who can carry the weight of your own greatness, and that doesn't happen through ease. That happens when you've been through the storm, when you've been hit and didn't stay down, when life took everything and you still found a way to rise. That's not just strength, that's transformation. That's rebirth. That's the real definition of power, not control, not dominance, but perseverance through pain. Some people will never understand your grind because they've never had to fight for what they have. But don't let that distract you. You're not on this journey to be understood. You're here to become something bigger than your pain, bigger than your fear, bigger than your circumstances. Don't waste time trying to explain the weight of your burden. Just carry it quietly, powerfully, consistently, and one day you'll lay it down and say, "I carried it all the way through." Pain will visit, that's life, but how you respond, that's character. Will you fold? Or will you forge forward even with the ache? Will you use the pain as fuel, or will you let it drown you? Every moment you spend in the struggle is either breaking you or building you. You get to decide. You get to write that story. Don't pray for the pain to stop. Pray for the strength to endure it, because on the other side of this is clarity, maturity, strength you didn't know you had, and the best part, once you've gone through real pain, once you've battled through real struggle, you become untouchable. Not because life stops hurting, but because you know now. You can handle it. You've been through fire, and you came out gold. It's not about becoming fearless. It's about learning to act in spite of the fear. It's not about removing pain. It's about using it, letting it push you, letting it remind you how bad you want this, letting it be the proof that you're still in the fight. So when struggle knocks again, and it will. You don't shrink. You don't panic. You say, I've been here before. I know what this is, and I'm still standing. There comes a point in every journey when you're going to be tempted to compromise. When the pressure gets heavy, the noise gets louder, and it feels easier to become what the world wants than to stay true to who you really are. In that moment, you've got to decide, will you bend or will you stay rooted? Because in a world that's constantly trying to shape you into something else, your greatest strength will be your ability to stand tall and say, this is who I am, and I'm not changing for anyone. Too many people sell out their principles for acceptance, trade their authenticity for applause. But what good is success if it costs you your soul? What good is a win if you lose yourself in the process? You might gain attention. You might gain followers. You might even gain fortune. But if you have to fake it to get it, you'll have to keep faking it to keep it. And nothing will drain you faster than living a life that isn't yours. Staying true to yourself is not always comfortable. It means saying no when everyone else says yes. It means standing alone sometimes, even in a crowded room. It means choosing values over validation, substance over popularity. That takes courage. It takes conviction. And it takes a willingness to walk away from things that look good on the outside, but are poison to your character on the inside. There's something sacred about your integrity. It's the core of your being. It's not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about staying aligned with your principles, even when it costs you. Especially when it costs you, because if you lose your integrity, you lose everything. You lose your voice, your respect, your peace. And once those things are gone, all the money, all the status, all the fame, they won't be able to fill that hole. The truth is, not everyone will appreciate your authenticity. Some people will be threatened by it. Some will try to twist it. Others will try to take advantage of it. That doesn't mean you need to shrink yourself. That doesn't mean you need to become harder or colder or quieter. It means you need to become even more solid in who you are, even more committed to showing up as your full self-honest, real, unshaken. People might not like it when you set boundaries. They might call you difficult when you demand respect. They might try to guilt you when you won't conform to their expectations. Let them talk, because they don't have to live your life. You do. They don't have to carry the weight of the decisions you make. You do. So make sure the decisions you make are rooted in your truth, not their opinions. And let's be honest, staying true to yourself in this world is not easy. We're surrounded by filters, highlight reels, fake personas. Everything's about image, optics, illusion. But real power isn't in how you look, it's in how you live. It's in how you treat people when no one's watching. It's in the way you carry yourself when you think no one will notice. That's where your integrity is tested, in the quiet, in the dark, in the places where it would be so easy to cut corners, tell half-truths, follow the crowd. You might not get the spotlight. You might not get the immediate rewards. But what you will get is something far more valuable. Peace of mind. The ability to sleep at night knowing you didn't compromise your values for a shortcut. The strength to look yourself in the mirror and feel proud of what you see. That's real success. That's real power. And that's something no one can take away from you. When you're true to yourself, you also attract the right people into your life. The real ones, the ones who see you for who you are and love you because of it, not in spite of it. When you pretend, when you wear a mask, you might gain attention. But it won't be real, it won't last. And the longer you pretend, the harder it is to remember who you were before you started. Staying true to yourself is also about honoring your instincts, that inner voice that tells you when something's off. That gut feeling that warns you when you're about to cross a line. Listen to that, trust it, because deep down you know what feels right. You know what aligns with your spirit. The more you ignore that voice, the quieter it gets. But the more you listen, the louder it becomes, and soon it becomes your compass, guiding you through the fog, the noise, the pressure. And don't think for a second that integrity is weakness. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Integrity takes strength. It takes discipline to choose what's right over what's easy. It takes resilience to walk away from what's popular when it doesn't align with your values. It takes power to resist the urge to be liked when you know your path won't be understood. You want to build something that lasts. Build it on truth. Build it on principle. Build it with people who value the real you, not the version of you that performs. Because when the storms come, and they will, it's your foundation that will determine whether you crumble or stand. And your foundation is only as strong as your integrity. You won't always get it right. You'll stumble. You'll make decisions you wish you could take back. That's part of the journey. But what matters most is that you keep coming back to center. That you keep returning to your truth. That you keep reminding yourself who you are and what you believe in. Because that's what grounds you. That's what guides you. And that's what protects you from losing yourself out there. Sometimes the greatest battle isn't the one outside. It's the one within. It's the pressure to be who others want you to be. It's the fear that who you are isn't enough, but it is. It always has been. You don't need to be more polished, more impressive, more palatable. You just need to be real, because real cuts through the noise, real resonates, real remains, and if there's one thing you hold on to as the world changes, as seasons shift, as people come and go, let it be your integrity. Let it be your truth, because at the end of the day, when the lights go out and the crowd is gone, it's not about how many people clapped for you. It's about whether you can sit in that silence and feel peace. It's about whether you built your life on something solid, something honest, something true. You were given something for a reason, not by accident, not by coincidence. That gift inside you, whether it's your voice, your mind, your heart, your hands, your vision, was placed in you because someone somewhere needs what only you can offer. You might not see it yet. You might doubt it. You might have buried it under fear, under rejection, under years of being told you're not enough. But none of that changes the truth. Your gift is real, and it's time you stopped hiding it. The world doesn't need another copy. The world doesn't need another watered-down version of someone else. The world needs you, all of you, not the version that plays it safe, not the one that stays silent in the back of the room, the bold you. The raw, unfiltered, honest, powerful you. That gift you carry. It's not just for you to enjoy. It's not just for you to protect. It's for you to give, to share, to shine. Too many people are sitting on greatness because they're afraid to be seen. Afraid to be judged, afraid to be misunderstood. But what's worse, being judged for using your gift, or regretting that you never did. You can't let fear hold the pen while your story goes unwritten. You can't wait for permission to be brilliant. You can't shrink yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. You were never meant to blend in. You were built to stand out. Don't let comparison steal your confidence. You might look at others and think they've got more talent, more experience, more exposure. But none of that disqualifies you because no one else has your perspective. No one else sees the world exactly like you do. Your story, your pain, your joy, your path, that's your edge. And if you lean into it, if you trust it, you'll find that your difference is your greatest strength. Believing in your gift starts with owning it. Stop downplaying your abilities. Stop brushing off compliments. Stop acting like what you do isn't valuable. It is. But until you believe it, no one else will. People take cues from you. If you carry yourself like you're unqualified, they'll treat you like you don't belong. But if you walk in your purpose with quiet confidence, with strength, with conviction, people feel that. They respect that. They respond to that. And don't wait until you feel ready. You'll never feel ready. You'll always think you need more time, more skill, more polish. But growth doesn't come before the leap, it comes after. You become more by doing, by putting yourself in uncomfortable spaces, by showing up even when your hands shake, by stepping on stages you don't feel qualified for and realizing that your presence alone is enough. Every time you share your gift, you give someone else permission to do the same. Your courage becomes someone else's inspiration. Your truth becomes someone else's survival guide. You have no idea who's watching you, who's waiting for someone like you to step forward so they can believe it's possible. You may feel small, but your impact is wide. You may think no one's listening, but someone out there is hanging onto your every word. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to have all the answers to be a leader. You just have to be willing to show up, to speak up, to serve. Your gift doesn't have to reach millions to matter. If it touches one life, that's enough. And when you share your gift without ego, without expectation, just out of love and purpose, it grows, it multiplies, it becomes something bigger than you ever imagined. And yes, some people won't understand it. Some people will question your motives, criticize your methods, or flat out ignore you. That's fine. Your gift isn't for everyone, but it is for someone. And that someone might never find their way if you keep playing small. Your silence might be the very thing holding someone else back. So speak, write, build, lead, sing, teach, create, whatever it is. Do it boldly. You might fail. You might fall flat on your face. But failure doesn't mean you're not gifted. It means you're learning. It means you're trying. It means you're in the arena, not sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment. Don't confuse criticism with failure, and don't confuse a slow start with lack of purpose. Every great thing takes time. Mastery doesn't come overnight. It comes from repetition, humility, and a relentless belief that what you're doing matters. You've got to fight for your gift. Protect it from doubt, from distraction, from the temptation to settle. Don't bury it in a job that drains you, in a relationship that dims you, in a life that doesn't make room for your calling. Make space, make time, make noise if you have to, because your gift is not a side project. It's your fingerprint on this world. It's what makes you come alive, and the world desperately needs more people who are alive. And when it gets hard, and it will get hard, remember why you started. Remember the first time you felt that spark. That tug in your chest, that quiet voice saying, "This is what I was born to do." Hold on to that. Let it anchor you when things get shaky. Let it drive you when the results are slow. Because if your gift is truly yours, nothing can take it away. Not rejection, not failure, not time, it's inside you and it always will be. It's not arrogant to own your brilliance. It's not prideful to know your worth. Humility isn't thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less and serving more. When you believe in your gift, you're not saying you're better than anyone. You're saying, "I've got something worth sharing, and I refuse to let fear silence me any longer." That's not ego, that's purpose. You are not here to be average. You are not here to live a muted life. You are not here to die with your gift still inside you. You are here to light something up, to stir something, to create a ripple that lasts long after you're gone. But it starts with belief. It starts with the decision to stop doubting, stop delaying, and start doing. So whatever it is that's been tugging at you, pick it up again. Dust it off. Don't worry if it's rough or rusty. Start where you are with what you have. Give it your best. Give it consistently and give it boldly, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary, because someone is waiting, and because your gift was never meant to sit quietly in the dark. It was meant to shine.